What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. We've got a packed MMA news update today, and things are getting spicy across multiple divisions. We're starting with some bold comments surrounding Justin Gaethje, Ilia Topuria, and reactions coming straight from UFC 324 before moving through Paddy Pimblett's future, Arman Tsarukyan's ongoing controversy, major UFC business updates, and plenty more. Let's jump right into it. The conversation kicked off this weekend at UFC 324, where Justin Gaethje and Paddy Pimblett went to war inside the octagon. While fans were locked into the action, not everyone watching was impressed with what they saw. Merab Dvalishvili, who was in attendance and reacting live, had some sharp criticism for both fighters. According to Merab, neither Justin nor Paddy showed what he considers high-level technical striking. Instead, he described the fight as dirty boxing, lots of toughness, lots of aggression, but not much refined technique. Merab didn't stop there. He went on to say that Ilia Topuria is probably watching these matchups and smiling, believing that either man would be an easy night for him. In Merab's words, Ilia's boxing is on a completely different level, and neither Gaethje nor Pimblett would be able to keep up if they were matched against him. Now, it's true that Ilia Topuria's boxing looks incredibly sharp. His combinations are clean, his timing is precise, and his confidence keeps growing every time he steps into the spotlight. But that doesn't mean Justin Gaethje should be written off so easily. Gaethje has proven time and time again that all it takes is one shot to flip a fight upside down. You can have perfect technique, but one clean connection can instantly change everything. That's what makes a potential matchup between Gaethje and Topuria so intriguing. And the best part is, we may not have to wait long to see it. There are strong indications that the UFC is lining up Gaethje versus Topuria for the White House card in June. If that happens, all this speculation will finally be settled inside the cage. Sticking with Ilia Topuria, he recently made waves during an appearance on a show called Guess the Pro Fighter. During the segment, Ilia was asked to watch two random people grapple and determine which one was not a professional fighter. He selected one individual who turned out to be an amateur fighter. That man then revealed that he had trained in Dagestan with Islam Makhachev and Khabib Nurmagomedov, and also trained in Brazil with Charles Oliveira. Ilia's response raised eyebrows. He looked at the man and said something along the lines of, "That's why you haven't improved." The comment was interpreted by many as a subtle jab, not just at the amateur fighter, but also at Islam, Khabib, and Charles Oliveira. The clip spread quickly online and sparked debate about whether Ilia was throwing unnecessary shots or simply being brutally honest. Now let's circle back to Paddy Pimblett, because his name continues to be at the center of multiple discussions following UFC 324. Belal Muhammad recently weighed in on what he believes should be next for Paddy. According to Belal, Paddy needs time to recover after such a tough fight, and the UFC should be careful not to rush him into something overwhelming. Belal specifically mentioned that Arman Tsarukyan would be far too much for Paddy at this stage. Instead, he suggested a matchup with Dan Hooker. Belal pointed out that there's already been some trash talk between Paddy and Hooker, and stylistically, it makes more sense. While the UFC doesn't offer easy fights anymore, Belal believes Dan Hooker is a fair challenge without completely throwing Paddy into the deep end. Adding another layer to the Paddy Pimblett conversation, Sean O'Malley's coach Tim Welch claimed he witnessed Paddy vaping aggressively while cutting weight for UFC 324. According to Welch, while everyone else backstage was struggling to make weight, Paddy was sitting there blowing massive vape clouds. Welch couldn't believe it, especially given how much weight Paddy typically cuts. He even joked about how absurd it was to see someone ripping a vape while in the middle of such a brutal weight cut. Now we move on to one of the most controversial ongoing stories involving Arman Tsarukyan and Dan Hooker. Over the past several months, Arman has been vocal about his frustration with not receiving a title shot. Dana White has publicly explained that Arman's withdrawal from a previous fight and some of his out-of-cage behavior played a role in that decision. One of those incidents happened during stare-downs in Qatar, where Arman headbutted Dan Hooker. At the time, the moment caused backlash, but new details have added fuel to the fire. During a recent appearance on Ariel Helwani's show, Dan Hooker revealed that the headbutt actually fractured his nose. According to Dan, he didn't even realize the severity until after the fight. When scans confirmed the injury, Dan explained that the incident threw him off mentally and physically. He was furious, especially knowing the injury didn't happen during the fight itself. He even said that medical staff tried to clear it as a fight-related injury, which he strongly disagreed with this new information. Fans began re-examining Arman's performance, questioning whether he fought an opponent who was already compromised. Arman, however, wasn't having it. He responded on social media by posting a side-by-side photo of Dan before and after the fight with the caption, "Come on, Dan," implying that the injury narrative was exaggerated. Interestingly, despite everything, Dan Hooker later came out in support of Arman receiving a title shot. He admitted that Arman won him over as a fan and said it's "It's a shame that the best years of Arman's career are being wasted. According to Dan, Arman should be fighting Ilia Topuria next, and it's a fight fans would love to see." Speaking of Arman, he recently appeared on Daniel Cormier's YouTube channel, where he publicly apologized to Dana White and Hunter Campbell. During the interview, Arman acknowledged his past mistakes and promised to behave moving forward. He said he wouldn't hit anyone again and tried to reassure UFC leadership that incidents like that wouldn't happen again. However, Arman also made it clear that he's still human. He admitted that if someone tries to slap him, he might instinctively react. While he tried to keep the tone light, the comments showed that the situation isn't completely settled. Arman also explained why he believes he hasn't received a title shot. In addition to pulling out of a fight and the headbutt incident, he mentioned another controversy involving a fan. He admitted that everything happening at once likely hurt his chances, and revealed that he hasn't even had a private conversation with Dana White about the matter. Now shifting gears to the business side of things, Paramount has released numbers following UFC 324, and they're eye-opening. The first UFC event streamed on Paramount Plus reportedly peaked at 5.93 million concurrent streams. Those are massive numbers, and if the partnership expands into more regions, it could become a major win for both the UFC and Paramount. With UFC 325 right around the corner, we also received the first official rankings update of 2026. Following Justin Gaethje's win at UFC 324, he's now ranked #1 in the division. Other contenders shifted slightly, while Paddy Pimblett remains ranked 5th. In the bantamweight division, there were no changes after wins from Umar and Aljamain Sterling. Meanwhile, Gene Silva made a big jump in the featherweight rankings after his performance against Arnold Allen. Looking ahead to this weekend, Fight Week is underway in Sydney, Australia. Alexander Volkanovski and Diego Lopes were captured facing off as they prepare to headline the event. Fans are split on how this one will go. Some believe Volkanovski will repeat his previous success, while others think Lopes has what it takes to get it done this time. In more fight news, Cub Swanson revealed that he'll be competing at UFC 327 in Miami. He posted the announcement on Instagram, confirming the date and making it official. Swanson is coming off a win and continues to stay active. The question now is who the UFC will put across from him on that card. There was also an emotional moment involving Rose Namajunas following her loss to Natalia Silva. A video shared by her management showed Rose signing autographs for fans despite clearly being emotional. Even after a tough loss, she stayed behind to interact with supporters, earning praise across the MMA community. On the bantamweight front, Sean O'Malley revealed that a fight with Corey Sandhagen could be next. While speaking with Ariel Helwani, O'Malley made it clear that money is his priority. He explained that his contract pays significantly more for title fights, and if the UFC wants him to fight Sandhagen, he expects to be compensated at the same level. O'Malley admitted that his star power may not be what it once was, especially after recent losses, but he remains focused on maximizing his earnings. He also reflected on his last fight, saying he was happy with the performance but acknowledged that he could have let his hands go more. He revealed he has 2 fights left on his contract and expects to renegotiate soon. Ariel Helwani also made headlines after going off on Dana White for comments about Tom Aspinall's eye injury. Dana appeared dismissive during a post-fight press conference, which shocked many fans and fighters. Ariel criticized Dana for showing a lack of empathy toward a champion dealing with a serious injury. Aljamain Sterling later reacted to Ariel's comments, saying he understands what Aspinall is going through. A fan accused Aljamain of being hypocritical, which led to a heated back and forth online. Sterling defended himself, saying his words had been misinterpreted and urging fans to listen more carefully. In some unfortunate news, Ilia Topuria revealed that he has put his $3.5 million home up for sale following legal disputes. The property, located in Madrid, was fully equipped for training and recovery. Hopefully, this situation doesn't impact his focus or future inside the octagon. Finally, new details have confirmed that Dana White wasn't lying about offering Justin Gaethje more money following the Paramount deal. Gaethje's manager, Ali Abdelaziz, confirmed that an offer was made, but Justin wasn't satisfied with it. Ali went as far as saying that no one in the UFC deserves to be paid more than Gaethje, and that's where we'll wrap things up today. Make sure to subscribe, turn on notifications, and let us know your thoughts in the comments. We'll see you in the next one.